I'm just playing with the light a little bit because about 5 minutes ago it was black outside and raining and you couldn't see any light. And now the sun's come out, so it's beaming onto the pool. Hello everyone, welcome back. Hi to a couple of people. I know it just popped up, but I know Iona's there. Hello, welcome back, Iona in Tunbridge Wells. Right, yesterday we looked at being able to convert and read and write numbers up to 1 million. So the challenge from yesterday is I want you to write this number in digits. 310,844. Have a go at that while I do some more shout outs. Hi Harriet, hello. Hi Josh, hello, welcome back. Super. Hope we're all okay, I hope it's not too rainy. I can see any answers coming in. I know it's a tricky number, I know it's a big number. So remember, if you're not sure, look at the end number, put that, think about its place value, and then putting it forward. Hi Hattie, hello. Hi Nalupa in Blandford, hello, got a new viewer. Hello Nalupa, thank you for joining in. Right, I need my rubber. Need my cord. I'm a bit less nervous today. Yesterday I was so nervous for some reason. But today, chilled. Right, so we're going to write it in digits. I think this is the harder way round. So we've got, it's harder because you can see there we've got 100 written twice. So you think, right, how do I say, or how do I write 100 again? Surely I can't put 100 twice in the hundreds column. So let's look at the whole number. We've got 310,844. I'm going to look at the end of that. 8, so it ends in 44. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this actually. So it ends in 44. There's my ones, there's my 10. So I've done that bit. 844. Okay, that's the only part that's in the hundreds column. What's fun? Now we know that thousands are higher than hundreds, so 310,000. 310,000. Well, 10,000 looks like that, and then 100,000 is bigger than 10,000. How many 100,000s are there? 3. And the comma gives it away as well. 310,000, comma, and this is the thousands part. How many thousands are there altogether? 310, comma, and then we've got the rest of the 3 digits making up the hundreds, tens, and ones. So there we go. If you missed that lesson yesterday, it is on the page and it is on the YouTube channel. So today we're carrying on with place value and we're rounding numbers up to 10. Yesterday's lesson was quite long because it took me so long to write all these numbers out up to 1 million, but it's going to be quite a snappy lesson today. And then tomorrow we're going to be rounding up to 100, and then on Thursday rounding up to 1,000. So gradually each lesson will bulk up because we're going to keep revising back and forth. Rounding to 10. What do I mean when I round to 10? When you're rounding to 10, your basically your number needs to be or end in a multiple of 10. It could just be a multiple of 10 in itself. For example, the number 6, okay, rounded to the nearest 10. Now if you put 6 on the number line, so 0 to 10, you can see that this is 5 approximately there, then 6 is next to it, and 6 is nearer to 10 than it is back to 0. And you can use a number line like that to help you. Another 2-digit number, say for example 34. 34. On a number line, 34 is nearer to 30 than it is to 40. So what we're doing is the number that we've given, we're thinking, is it in the tens that it is in already? It's in the 30s, or is it the next one up? Do we round up? Sometimes it can be confusing when you say you round down. I like to say stick rather than round down, because if you round down, sometimes it's thinking you might need to go to the 10 below that. So I don't want you to think, oh, if you round down, you go down to the 20s. No, you either stick in the 10s that you're in, or you go up to the next lot of 10. Now 34 in the number line, as I've said, is closer to 30 than it is to 40. And there's a rule, I'm sure a lot of you already know this rule. If the digit, whatever digit is, if it ends in a 1 or a 4, anywhere between 1 and 4, you round down or you stick. I'm going to say stick. And if it is from 5 to 9, you round up. Okay, so instead of 34, if this is 37, 37 on the number line, if I put my 30 and 40, and there's my middle, 37 is about here, and you can see that it's much closer to 40 than it is to 30. So you round up, so 37 to the nearest 10 is 40. Why are we learning about this? Why do we learn about rounding numbers? We learn about rounding numbers as an estimate, okay? You will do estimating when you go into Key Stage 3, but it's not even just about what you do in the curriculum. We use it in everyday life. If you go to the shops and you've got £10 and you want to spend little bits and bobs, rather than having to add up every single figure in your head, like £1.91 and £2.32, and it gets really complicated. If you round it up to the nearest 10 pence or 50 pence or even pound, that gives you an idea of how much you've spent when you go to the till. So if you forget, you don't want to get to the till and you've spent nowhere near amount and you have to go back and shop. But you don't want to get to the till and you've spent too much and you have to get rid of something and you can be a little bit embarrassed. So rounding gives you a really good estimate. Okay, so rounding, estimating, very, very closely linked. Give you another example related to this, another 2-digit number. Let's have a look. 52. 52. 52 to the nearest 10. Is it in the 10 that it's already in, 50, or is it in the next multiple of 10, 60? Well, it ends in a 2, so that means we stick. So 52 to the nearest 10 is 50. Now, what if it's not a 2-digit number? What if it's a 3-digit number? What if it is the number 263? How on earth do you round that to the nearest 10? This is what you do. You temporarily ignore the 100. Okay, let's focus on the tens part. 63. Okay, here's our tens and here is our ones. Now, when you're rounding to the nearest 10, it's the 10 that we want to know what changes, and it's the units or the ones that boss it around, okay? So if it's 63, is it going to be nearer to 60? Or is it going to be nearer to 70? Well, it's 63, that means we stick, so it's nearer to 60, but it's not 60, remember it's 260. So you focus on rounding the 2-digit part first, and then don't forget about whatever extra number is in front. Show you another example. You might have 678. They're already giving up these whiteboard pens, and it's only the first week. 678. Right, with rounding to the nearest 10, so I need to focus on the 10s and the 1s. I focus on the 10s because that's the one that could change. And I focus on the 1s because the 1s boss around the 10s, or what to do. 8 tells us we need to round up. We're currently in the 70s, so we need to go up to the 80s, but don't forget the number that we're already using. Don't forget the 100. It's hidden for now while we do the working out, but it needs to be in your answer. Okay? And it's the same if you go into the thousands. So 3,842. Okay? We're focusing on, I'm going to keep changing pen colour because I just want to make it as clear as possible. We're rounding to the nearest 10. So we're focusing on the tens and the ones. Tens, ones. We focus on the tens and the ones because the tens is we're looking what happens to it, and it's the ones that boss it around. It's 42. Is 42 nearer to 40, the tens that we're in, or 50, the next one up? It's the ends in a 2, so that means we stick. So it ends in 40, but don't forget about the rest of the number. So it's this number to the nearest 10, 3,842 is 3,840. Okay. Here are the 3 challenge questions for you today. So we've got question 1, question 2, and question 3. Question 1 is 28 to the nearest 10, 234 to the nearest 10, and 4,999 to the nearest 10. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Let's see how you get on. I'm throwing a tricky question out there really early. Okay. Oh, well done you guys joining in. Brilliant. Hello, Andrew. So Andrew put some hi, Harriet. Harriet's been putting some answers as well. Oh, brilliant. Well done. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 more seconds. 10 seconds. Oh, yeah, got some answers. Oh, Hattie's got some answers. Let's have a see. Let's have a look. Okay, it's 28 to the nearest 10. It ends in an 8. It's in the 20s, but it ends in an 8. Because it ends in an 8, that means we need to round up to the nearest 10, so that is 30. 30. Now 234, we focus on the 10s and the 1s, so it's 34. Just think 34. What is 34 to the nearest 10? Right, it's in the 30s, and it's a 4. Because it ends in a 4, that means I need to stick. So it's 30. But I can't forget about the additional values in that number. So 230. Right, this one's tricky. 4,999. Okay. 99. I'm focusing on the 1s and the 10s. Okay, I'm going to ignore the rest of it for now. Okay. 99 to the nearest 10. Right, 99. It's in the 90s. And then what's the next 10 after 90? If I count on in 10s, from 80, 90, 100. Oh, right, we're going into the hundreds now. And where is 99 on my number line? It's right there. It's right next to 100. So I need to round it up to 100. But hang on. If I round it up to 100, it'll end in 0, but then the 1 will go into this column as well. And if I bunch the 1 into this column, that 9 and 1 makes 10. So then that's that's going to send over another 1 into this column. So it's going to be 5,000. I'm sure you can see that 4,999 is the next number before 5,000. But I want to show you this to show you that it's not always when you cover it up, nothing changes. Sometimes rounding a number, rounding certain figures can actually change the rest of the number. Sometimes that can happen. So a bit of a challenge one there for you. Okay. I said today's lesson was going to be quick. So I'm already on the 3 challenges. Right. Okay. Question 1, question 2, question 3. Question 1, I would like 78, it's always nearest 10. 78 to the nearest 10, 2,234 to the nearest 10, and 15,725 to the nearest 10. Have a go at those. Well done, Harriet. Fantastic. Oh, well done, Hattie, for correcting yourself. Little typo there. Creep in here. Don't be fazed by that last question. Doesn't matter how big it is, as long as you focus on that particular part that we're doing, you'll be fine. Okay. 78, the nearest 10, is currently in the 70s. 8 tells us to round up, so it's 80. 2,234. Right, I'm focusing on these 2 digits, the 1s and the 10s, because I need to find out if I'm sticking in this 10 or changing, and it's the 1s or the units that boss me about. Because it's a 4, that means I stick. So the 10s part of the number is going to be 30, but don't forget the rest of the number. Because if you round 2,230, and you're to the nearest 10 and your answer is 30, you can spot there's something's wrong there. Okay? You can spot that that number is nowhere near the number you started with. Okay, 15,725. Okay, focusing on those last two, we're only rounding to the nearest 10. 25. 10s and 1s. 25. It's in the 20s, but the 5 means round up. So it doesn't become 25, it becomes 30. And then I just keep the rest the same. So 7, 5, 1. So rather than being 15,725, it's 15,730. You've only changed those last 2. Right. 3 more. Let's see how you get on with these. Okay. Oh, how challenging is... Oh, I'm not going to do any more 2 digits. I'm going to do 777, 8,259, and, oh, here we go, 448,721. Off you go. Brilliant, well done, Hattie. Well done, Harriet. Fantastic. Super. So 777, all the sevens. So focus on the tens and the ones. It's 77, say it out loud, 77. So it's in the 70s, and the 7, the ones digit, tells us to round up. So rather than sticking in the 70s, we're going into the 80s, and we keep this digit the same, 780. 8,259, right, we're focusing on the tens and the ones. The ones tell us what to do. Now 59, we know it's nearer to 60 than it is to 50. So this part becomes 60 and the rest stays the same. So 8,260. And the last bit, again, doesn't matter how big the number is, just use the same method. Don't get scared by it. Don't go, oh, I don't know what to do suddenly. Last bit here, 21. Okay? The 1 tells us what to do. 21, you know, is nearer to 20 than it is to 30. So it ends in 20, and then make sure all the other digits are the same. So 448,721 to the nearest 10 is 448,720. There we go, that was it. Rounding to the nearest 10. Now, like I said, each lesson is just going to build a little bit this week because tomorrow we'll do rounding to the nearest 100, but I'll add in a little bit to rounding to the nearest 10 in there just to keep you on your toes. Obviously, I'm going to put a challenge question up at the end of the lesson, so please give that a go. It's quite a long one today, so you don't need to feel like you need to send the answers into that. It's your practice time for that. And while I remember, I will put this up as a reminder, there is a competition going on related to Maths Live. So if you'd like to join in, I have quite a few entries actually. I think I've had about 10 or 11. I've not looked at any of them yet. If you'd like to have a go, I'm going to put the details up this afternoon. Please give it a go. It's lovely and creative. And besides that, I will see you tomorrow for rounding to 100. Have a lovely day. I hope it's not too wet where you are. See you tomorrow. Bye.